Greetings all! Today, we will be examining the relatively rare Electric-type Pokémon Plusle and Minun, collectively known as the Cheering Pokémon. While they might not be the most powerful or useful of Pokémon out there, Plusle and Minun are lovable creatures that can definitely provide critical moral support to any team they are a part of. Both Plusle and Minun possess the same basic body form, with small bodies adorned with short, stumpy, digitless hands and feet and round heads. Their eyes are black in color, and they have large ears with round extensions of the yellowish cream-colored bodies observed near the ends where they connect to their head. Their main bodies possess the aforementioned yellowish cream-colored flesh over most of their form, with only their hands, tail, cheeks, and ears possessing different colors. It is also these different colors that serve to distinguish these beasts from one another. With Plusle, their hands and ears are colored red, the tip of their tail is red and in the shape of a plus symbol, and their cheeks are red with cream-colored plus symbols on them. In the case of Minun, on the other hand, their hands and ears are colored blue, the tip of their tail is blue and in the shape of a minus symbol, and their cheeks are blue with cream-colored minus symbols. Primarily dwelling among grassy fields and plains, Plusle and Minun are a strange case among mammalian Pokémon in that they really are not fit for survival in the wild for the most part, compared to other Pokémon, as they primarily feed on berries for sustenance and lack both the power and many notable and unique attributes needed to make themselves a serious threat. Moreover, they tend to want to avoid battling in the first place, preferring to act as supporters in battle instead. While they can be pressed into a combat scenario, these creatures will generally stick to the sidelines if they can, shorting out their entire bodies and hands especially in order to create a crackling burst of sparks that have the appearance of brightly colored pom-poms, which, combined with their enthusiastic movements and dancing, make them akin to cheerleaders. They will especially do this if their teammate is doing well in a fight and is putting in a lot of effort, and they will increase the amount of sparks they produce if their teammate is in trouble. Because they are generally more concerned with the safety of their teammates than their own personal safety, these beasts can be hard to work with, and seemingly don't stand a chance against larger and more powerful Pokémon. But interestingly enough, these creatures are almost never hunted by other Pokémon in the wild, instead being left alone for the most part. The reason for this is that these creatures will cheer for any and all Pokémon, and they tend to have such a positive influence on other creatures that they represent a bit of a forbidden fruit scenario, where it is pointless to attack them when they benefit all that are around them, in turn making them valuable assets to any team that can carry them through a fight. As their appearances suggest, while these creatures do not evolve in any form, they did develop together from the same evolutionary source and have become mostly codependent on each other to maximize their power. And their abilities demonstrate this perfectly, as Plusle normally possess the plus ability and Minun the minus ability, which are designed to only function in tandem with a partner that has the opposite ability in tow. However, this is not the only abilities they can possess, as their penchant for absorbing electricity from artificial and natural sources alike also grants Plusle the Lightning Rod ability and Minun the Volto Absorb ability as hidden abilities. In terms of their stats, while Plusle have slightly stronger offensive stats and Minun have slightly stronger defensive stats, both of them underperform as fully evolved Electric-type Pokémon in most stats, their base speed stat being the only one that is above average. As such, they are unlikely to win many battles on their own, but they can definitely work well together in pairs and make the most of their limited power if given the chance. Although they are able to generate electricity using electrical sacs in their cheeks, Plusle and Minun are unable to do so as effectively as other rodent Pokémon like Pikachu, so they must either rely on natural sources like lightning or, in more frequent cases, absorb electricity from telephone poles in order to maintain their internal electrical reserves. While their electrical powers are quite similar to one another, as their physical bodies may illustrate, Plusle and Minun are distinct because they generate electricity slightly differently, with Plusle using positive charges to initiate the flow of electricity, while Minun are more concerned with negative charges. The fact that positive charges are generally needed to start the flow of electricity also helps to explain why the offensive power of Plusle is a bit stronger than that of Minun, since they can create a stronger flow more easily. Having both around is quite helpful though, as it has been demonstrated through tests that exposure to both of their powers simultaneously has the effect of promoting circulation and boosting one's vitality, naturally charging one's body with a stimulating flow of electrical energy. Despite their similarities though, these creatures do have some minor differences in combat ability and personality. On the one hand, Plusle tend to be a bit more emotional than Minun and have been known to cry if a teammate loses, which is reflected in that they gain access to the Bestow, Charm, and Last Resort moves. On the other hand, Minun are much more composed and instead gain access to the Switcheroo, Fake Tears, and Trump card moves, but they are more easily shorted out than Plusle and avoid water as much as they can, hiding under the eaves of houses whenever it starts to rain. Even with these differences though, these beasts battle in much the same manner, and in turn can be fairly easy to train as long as they are provided a supporting role and not put up front in a fight. Cute and adorable, and playfully vibrant in mood and action, Plusle and Minun are fun creatures to play with that can definitely give a struggling team the moral support it needs to get through a tough fight. They might not be able to do much of use in battle on their own, but that certainly won't stop them from helping those that need a bit of assistance to conquer their adversaries. If you plan on acquiring one or even both of these creatures, do yourself a favor and try to keep clear of them when they start cheering on the sidelines. They might be amusing to watch, but electricity is still electricity, and getting too close to the pom-poms they make out of sparks can still give you a nasty shock if you get too close and involved with them when they're cheering on their friends in a fight. Thank you all for watching this video. It is always an honor to be able to speak with you all on the subject of Pokemon in a way that brings me great joy and happiness in my work. If you would like to keep tabs on past and future work, click that subscribe button, check out my work on DeviantArt, and don't be shy about following me on Twitter, where you can find pertinent announcements on upcoming work before it is officially posted. Links to both can be found in the video description. If you would like to support my work and help Miguel and I continue to produce more content for you and improve upon our presentation, please visit us at my Patreon page, which you can also find a link to in the video description. With that, I thank you for watching and I wish you well.